So the Dallas Wings coach went all out again to beat the Indiana Fever, and it just was not happening. The tactic just did not work. Like, without question, the tactic did not work. This is a bad defensive team. Shouldn't be a bad defensive team, but Dallas are a real bad defensive team. They scored 109 points in a loss. I repeat, they scored 109 points in a loss. And again, she full court pressed Caitlin Clark full game. 35 minutes on the floor, 35 minutes full court pressed. And it worked early. If you want to look at the first quarter of this game, in quarter one, Caitlin Clark 1 of 4 from the field. And she started off 0 of 3. 1 turnover, 1 assist. They kept the ball out of Caitlin's hands. Albeit Kelsey Mitchell was 1 of 6 in the first. But then after that, you can see Fever still scored 26 points in the first quarter. So it just became like time and time again where it became a shootout. And Indiana are going to beat most teams in a shootout. But again, if you guys are interested in the channel, subscribe. We are trying to hit 35.3k subscribers by the end of the day. If you could do that, that would be absolutely insane. But this game was just like every Dallas Wings versus Indiana game, other than the preseason one. If you look at the previous time these two teams played, I think the winning team has scored over 100 points in every game. Every game these two teams have played. So the first game was right before the Olympic break. And it was the 18th of July. The next time they played was after a 3-game win streak for Dallas, including, like, Dallas, by the way, beat the Aces and the Lynx back-to-back. The only two teams the Fever have not been able to beat healthy this year. And they beat them back-to-back before they played the Fever the last time. But, like, the last time they played, you can see right here, 100-93 to Indiana. And Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlin Clark combined for 64 points in this game. Caitlin Clark had 28 and 12. She had 28 and 12 on 45% from 3 and 52% from the field. The first time they played, Caitlin Clark had 24 and 19. She set the record for most points responsible for in a game in the history of the WNBA. They won the game because Kelsey Mitchell just wasn't involved very much. And again, this is back when Katie Lou was playing 28 minutes a game. But in the 3 games that Dallas played against Indiana, all three, Caitlin Clark full court pressed. All 3 constant blitzes of screens. And I will say the blitzing of screens down the stretch actually worked. I don't know how it was working, but it was working. It hadn't been working the whole game, but it worked towards the end of that game. And Caitlin Clark against Dallas, 28, 24, 35. So what were the averages? 20, like it's over 20. It's probably close to 30, is it? She averaged 29 a game. She averaged 29 a game versus Dallas. And what's 12 plus 8 plus 19? She averaged 29 and I think, is it like, 29 and 13 or something? 29, 13, 14. He was 29 and 13. And that was with you full court pressing her. You full court press Caitlin Clark for her to average probably, I think, more assists. Yeah, her average of assists versus the Dallas Wings is more than her career high in assists against any other team. She averaged more assists against you than anyone else. And she averaged nearly 30 a game. Caitlin Clark averaged freaking 30. She averaged 30 against the Wings. And this is the one team more than anyone who planned to stop Caitlin. They full court pressed her the whole game. JC Sheldon, by the way. JC Sheldon has played nearly 70 minutes. She played 30 minutes in this game. In the previous one, JC Sheldon played... she played 33. She played 66 minutes in these 2 games. And by the way, if you're looking at these minutes, JC Sheldon 23, 26, 18. Occasionally she will play 30 minutes. But she's played 30 minutes every time against Indiana. The first time they played, JC Sheldon played 37 minutes. Oh, no, sorry. The first time she played 30. The second time she played 37. So, like, JC Sheldon's played nearly 70 minutes in 2 games against Dallas. She's played almost as many minutes as Caitlin. And Caitlin plays every minute of the damn game. That is just crazy. And the only reason she didn't play 40 today, by the way, was because she was in foul trouble. She picked up 5 she got fouled out. If she didn't get fouled out of this game... Oh, sorry, no, it's 6 assists. If she didn't have 5 fouls in this game, JC Sheldon would have been gone. Like, JC Sheldon would have been... Or she would have been playing 40 minutes. You have basically iced out Uzun, who is at times playing 20 minutes a game. And full court pressing Caitlin, throwing every single defense imaginable at Caitlin Clark. And it just hasn't worked. It just hasn't worked because... I don't know. Like... Apparently, someone at the game said Caitlin Clark said, we're not running that. It doesn't work to Chrissy sides, which is kind of wild. But, like... You just can't. She's so hard to guard. She's so hard to guard. And the Dallas Wings, other than the Mystics, sorry, not the Mystics, the Mercury. The Mercury threw 17 different junk zones at Dallas. Or Indiana. I've never seen a team throw as many junk zones at a player as the Mercury threw at Caitlin Clark. They're the only team that have put more individual focus on Caitlin Clark than the Dallas Wings. And she is averaging 5 assists above her assists and 10 points above her points per game average. If the Indiana Fever could play Dallas Wings every week, Caitlin Clark would average freaking 40. Every single game, she scored more. I think she could, if they played 2 more times, she would have a 40-point game against this team. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Just a crazy situation. And look, I'll talk about it tomorrow, but I'd say she is very, very, very likely to be fired soon. I'd say it's very likely that she gets fired in the next week or so. But not next week or so, at the end of the season, the Dallas Wings coach. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. It is what it is, and Caitlin Clark has been just completely unstoppable. They full court pressed her 40 minutes, and she still had 35. And it's not only that she had 35. On any other day, if Temi Figbenle could catch the ball, if Lexi Hull could make layups, and if Aaliyah Boston could make open layups, she would have had 13, 14 assists as well in this game, which is just wild. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.